Thinking of moving to Dubai, Portugal, or the Cayman Islands to take a tax-free dividend and then move back to the UK in a few years? Well, if that's your plan, you need to watch this video because HMRC have just set fire to the rulebook. Temporary non-residence rules have always been a minefield. But as of the autumn budget in 2025, a massive loophole has been slammed shut. If you don't get your timing exactly right, you aren't just looking at a minor technicality. You're looking at your entire offshore dividend being taxed at up to 39.35% the moment you step back on UK soil. I'm Abbas, a chartered accountant and a chartered tax advisor. I trained at a Big Four firm in one of their private client tax teams, and I now advise business owners and families on inheritance tax, company structuring, and long-term wealth planning. If you're currently non-resident, or if you're planning to leave, we need to talk about the post-departure crackdown that goes live this April. Before we get into the new trap, we have to understand the foundation. The temporary non-residence or TNR rules are anti-avoidance measures designed to stop in, pop out, pop in tax planning. HMRC classifies you as temporary non-resident if you meet two conditions: the 4 out of 7 rule, i.e. you were UK resident for at least 4 of the previous 7 tax years before you left, and you returned to the UK within 5 years of your departure. If you fall into this bracket, HMRC effectively hits the pause button on your tax record when you leave and the resume button when you return. Any tainted income or gains that you took abroad are dragged back into the UK and subject to UK tax the year that you return. Up until now, we had a major escape hatch called the post-departure trade profits exemption, but that hatch has been wielded shut. Historically, if you moved abroad and your company continued to trade and earn new profits while you were away, you could pay yourself those profits as dividends entirely tax-free. Even if you returned within 5 years, those dividends were exempt because they were post-departure profits, not subject to the TNR rules. Even if you came back in 2 years, as long as any dividends were received from profits that the company earned after you left, then they were never subject to UK tax. But as of 6th of April 2026, that distinction is being deleted from the tax code. The new legislation removes references to post-departure trade profits entirely. So what does that mean in practice? Well, it means that if you're temporarily non-resident, all dividends and distributions from close companies received while you're abroad will be chargeable to UK tax when you return. It no longer matters when the company made the money. If you take a dividend in Dubai in 2027 and move back to London in 2028, that dividend is going to be taxed in full on your 28-29 tax return. And what's worse is that this change is not happening in a vacuum. We're being hit by a pincer movement of new rules. The post-departure profits exemption is being removed at the same time that dividend rates are going up. The basic rate of dividend tax is going to 10.75% and the upper rate to 35.75% from 6th of April 2026. Now, because TNR income is taxed at the rates in force the year you return, coming back early could push you into a 40+% tax bracket on money you spent years ago. HMRC's goal is clear. They want to ensure that short-term periods of non-residence cannot be used to avoid UK tax on company profits. So what's the strategy in 2026? Well, if you're leaving, you must stay non-resident for more than 5 full years. Anything less than that is now a guaranteed tax disaster. Clear the slate before April. If you are already non-resident and have post-departure profits, consider extracting them before 6th of April 2026 while the old safe harbor still exists. Moving abroad is no longer pop-out, pop-in exercise. It is a long-term commitment. If you're in the middle of a move or thinking about returning, you need a professional review of your timeline and profit history before you move. If you found this technical breakdown helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more grounded tax insights. I'm Abbas, and I'll see you in the next video.